The hot plains of 16th century India trembled under the scorching sun. The air was thick with tension, and the ground seemed to vibrate with the anticipation of the impending conflict. Two formidable armies faced each other, their banners rippling in the dust-filled wind. Each side was determined, their soldiers ready to lay down their lives for their leaders and their cause. This was not just a battle for land or riches. It was a clash for the soul of an empire, a struggle that would shape the future of a vast and diverse subcontinent. On one side stood Humayun, the Mughal emperor, elegant and refined. He was a ruler with a vision, a dream of continuing the legacy of his father, Babur, who had laid the foundations of the Mughal Empire. Humayun was not just fighting for a throne, he was fighting to secure the legacy of his father, Babur, the founder of the Mughal Empire. His determination was fueled by a deep sense of duty and honor. On the other side stood Sher Shah Suri, a proud Afghan leader. He was a man of great ambition and military brilliance, a leader who had risen from humble beginnings to challenge the might of the Mughal Empire. Sher Shah was a force of nature, driven by a desire to carve his own path to power. His strategic mind and unyielding spirit made him a formidable opponent, one who would stop at nothing to achieve his goals. The battles of Chausa in 1539 and Kannauj in 1540 would decide the fate of India. These were not mere skirmishes. They were epic confrontations that would determine the future of an entire subcontinent. These epic encounters would determine who would rule the vast subcontinent. The stakes were incredibly high, and the outcome would resonate through the annals of history. Would it be the Mughals, with their Persian heritage and dreams of a glorious empire? Their soldiers, adorned in Persian-influenced attire, represented a rich cultural legacy and a vision of a unified and prosperous realm. Or would it be the Afghans, led by the shrewd and ambitious Sher Shah? His warriors, fierce and determined, were ready to fight for their leader's vision of a new order, one that promised change and opportunity. These two battles, etched in blood and valor, offer a glimpse into a pivotal moment in Indian history. The intensity and strategic brilliance of the leaders all combined to create a dramatic and unforgettable chapter in the story of the subcontinent. They tell a tale of ambition, betrayal, and military cunning. The battlefield was not just a place of physical combat, but also a stage for psychological warfare, where tactics and deception played crucial roles in determining the outcome. Most importantly, they reveal how quickly fortunes can shift on the battlefield, changing the course of empires forever. The aftermath of these battles left a lasting impact, with soldiers reflecting on the hard-fought struggle and the ever-changing nature of power and destiny. The battles of Chausa and Kannauj were more than just military engagements. They were turning points that reshaped the political landscape of India. The shifting territories and the rise and fall of leaders during this period highlight the dynamic and often unpredictable nature of history. The legacy of these clashes can still be seen today in the cultural and architectural heritage of India. The Mughal influence, with its blend of Persian and Indian elements, left an indelible mark on the subcontinent's art, architecture, and culture. Artifacts from these battles, including weapons and armor, serve as tangible reminders of the bravery and sacrifice of those who fought. They tell stories of courage, strategy, and the relentless pursuit of power. Today, the echoes of these historic battles can still be felt in the vibrant and diverse culture of modern-day India. The rich tapestry of traditions, languages, and communities is a testament to the enduring legacy of this clash of empires. As the sun sets over the Indian landscape, it serves as a reminder of the passage of time and the ever-evolving nature of history. The clash of empires in the 16th century was a defining moment, one that continues to shape the identity and destiny of India. Humayun, the second Mughal emperor, ascended to the throne in 1530. He was the eldest son of Babur, the founder of the Mughal Empire, and inherited a legacy that was both grand and fragile. He inherited a vast empire, still in its infancy. The territories were diverse, and the control over them was tenuous, requiring a delicate balance of power and diplomacy. His father, Babur, had used his military genius to conquer Delhi just a few years earlier. Babur's victories were swift and decisive, establishing the foundation of the Mughal rule in India. Humayun, however, was different from his battle-hardened father. While Babur was a warrior at heart, Humayun was more of a dreamer, a man of contemplation and culture. He was known for his love of poetry, astronomy, and art. His court was a hub of cultural and intellectual activity, attracting scholars, poets, and artists from across the region. These refined tastes, while admirable, would prove to be a weakness in the brutal game of power. The court was rife with intrigue and betrayal, and Humayun's focus on the arts often left him vulnerable to political machinations. Humayun's reign began with promise. He was seen as a benevolent ruler, and his early victories brought hope to his subjects. He successfully defended his territories against early challenges. His military campaigns were initially successful, and he managed to keep the empire intact. However, his rule was plagued by internal conflicts and rebellions. The vast empire was difficult to manage, and regional governors often sought to assert their independence. His brothers, driven by jealousy and ambition, challenged his authority. They saw Humayun's perceived weaknesses as an opportunity to carve out their own power bases. These internal struggles weakened the Mughal Empire, making it vulnerable to external threats. The constant infighting drained resources and morale, leaving the empire exposed. Little did Humayun know that a formidable opponent was rising in the east. Sher Shah Suri, a brilliant military strategist and leader, was consolidating his power and preparing to challenge the Mughal rule. This opponent would test his strength and push the Mughal Empire to the brink of collapse. The stage was set for a dramatic confrontation that would determine the future of the Mughal dynasty and the Indian subcontinent. In the eastern regions of the Mughal Empire, a powerful figure emerged. Sher Shah Suri, an Afghan of humble beginnings, was a born leader. He possessed a sharp mind for strategy and an unyielding ambition. Initially, a governor under the Mughal rule, Sher Shah quickly rose to prominence. He gained control of the rich province of Bengal through a combination of shrewd diplomacy and military prowess. Sher Shah was known for his administrative skills. He implemented reforms that strengthened his hold on Bengal. He reorganized the revenue system, improved infrastructure, and created a disciplined army. His growing power and ambition soon brought him into direct conflict with the Mughal emperor Humayun. Sher Shah's ambition was not merely to rule Bengal. He envisioned uniting the fragmented Afghan nobles. His dream was to challenge the Mughal dominance and establish his own empire in India. Section 4. The Tide's Turn, the Battle of Chausa, 1539. The first major clash between Humayun and Sher Shah occurred at Chausa in 1539. This battle was not just a mere skirmish, but a significant confrontation that would shape the future of the Indian subcontinent. The stakes were high, and both leaders knew that the outcome would have far-reaching consequences. Humayun, leading a large Mughal army, marched east to confront the rising threat of Sher Shah. His forces were well-equipped and numerous, reflecting the might of the Mughal Empire. Humayun was determined to crush the rebellion and reassert his dominance over the region. The Mughal army, confident in its size and strength, was unprepared for Sher Shah's cunning. They believed their numerical superiority would guarantee victory. However, they underestimated the strategic brilliance of their opponent, a mistake that would cost them dearly. Sher Shah, a master strategist, chose his battleground carefully. He understood the terrain and the importance of positioning. His ability to anticipate the enemy's moves and plan accordingly was unparalleled. Every decision he made was calculated to give him the upper hand. He lured Humayun's army into a trap. By feigning weakness and retreat, he created a false sense of security among the Mughal ranks. This deception was a classic example of his tactical genius, drawing the enemy into a position where they were most vulnerable. He feigned weakness, then launched a surprise attack during the midday heat. The timing was perfect, as the Mughal soldiers were least expecting an assault in the scorching heat. This sudden and unexpected move threw the Mughal forces into disarray. The Mughal army, caught off guard and exhausted from the heat, was routed. The chaos that ensued was overwhelming. Soldiers, disoriented and fatigued, struggled to regroup. The once confident army was now in a state of panic and confusion. The defeat was devastating for Humayun. It was not just a loss of men and resources, but a severe blow to his prestige and authority. The psychological impact of the defeat was profound, shaking the very foundations of his rule. He lost a large part of his army and barely escaped with his life. The retreat was chaotic, with many soldiers abandoning their posts and fleeing in desperation. Humayun's narrow escape highlighted the precariousness of his situation. The Battle of Chausa marked a turning point in the struggle between the Mughals and the Afghans. It was a moment that underscored the shifting balance of power in the region. The battle's outcome had long-lasting implications for both empires. It exposed the vulnerabilities of Humayun's rule and showcased Sher Shah's military genius. Sher Shah's triumph at Chausa was a testament to his strategic acumen and leadership. This victory solidified his position as a formidable force and a key player in the power dynamics of the time. The aftermath of the battle saw significant changes in territorial control. Sher Shah's victory allowed him to consolidate his power and expand his influence. Meanwhile, Humayun's court was thrown into turmoil, grappling with the consequences of the defeat and the loss of territory. Historians view the Battle of Chausa as a critical event that reshaped the political landscape of the time. Ancient manuscripts and records provide detailed accounts of the strategies employed and the dramatic shifts in power that followed. The battle is studied for its lessons in leadership, strategy, and the unpredictable nature of warfare. Today, the site of the Battle of Chausa stands as a reminder of this pivotal moment in history. Historical monuments and reenactments keep the memory of the battle alive, allowing us to reflect on the bravery, strategy, and the enduring impact of this significant clash. Section 5. A Drowning Emperor, Humayun's Flight. The defeat at Chausa sent shockwaves through the Mughal Empire. Humayun, once considered invincible, was now a ruler in retreat. As he fled towards Agra, his capital, he was pursued relentlessly by Sher Shah's forces. One particular incident during his flight highlights the danger Humayun faced. While crossing the Ganges River, his camp was attacked. In the ensuing chaos, he was separated from his family and many of his followers. A local boatman, realizing the emperor's plight, came to his rescue. Humayun, humbled and defeated, was forced to offer his precious royal insignia in exchange for safe passage. The flight from Chausa was a humiliating experience for Humayun. It exposed the fragility of his hold on power and the growing strength of his adversary. Thank you for watching this deep dive into one of the most epic clashes in Indian history. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to Crazy Color Facts for more fascinating historical stories. See you in the next one.